There's online outrage against Walgreens after an Arizona pharmacist refused to fill a prescription for a medical abortion due to his own ethical concerns. You're watching What's Trending. I'm Shira Lazar. Be sure to like this video and subscribe for more social media news daily. When she was 9 weeks pregnant, Nicole Arteaga got some devastating news. The fetus had no heartbeat, and she was going to have another miscarriage. She was given the choice to either undergo a surgical procedure to remove the fetus from her uterus or to take prescription Misoprostol to abort the failed pregnancy. She dropped off the prescription at Walgreens and received an email that night that it was ready. But when she went to pick up the prescription, the pharmacist refused to give it to her.
He tells me, well, he asked me if I was pregnant, and once I responded, he told me that he wasn't going to fill my prescription. And so I couldn't believe that that was happening, and I tried to explain like what was going on and why the doctor had sent it, and he still had said, no, I'm not gonna fill this. It's not gonna happen.
Devastated, she left Walgreens and posted this to Facebook. She wrote, "I stood at the mercy of this pharmacist explaining my situation in front of my 7-year-old and 5 customers standing behind, only to be denied because of his ethical beliefs. I get it, we all have our beliefs, but what he failed to understand is this isn't the situation I'd hoped for. This isn't something I wanted." Arteaga's Facebook post went viral and has been shared over 40,000 times. In an interview with CNN, Arteaga said the pharmacist told her to either come back the following day or that he could try to fill the prescription at another Walgreens. She later updated her Facebook post that the pharmacist had her prescription transferred to another Walgreens where she was able to pick it up without issue. This apparently is consistent with Walgreens' official policy. They tweeted, "Our policy allows pharmacists to step away from filling a prescription for which they have a moral objection. At the same time, they are also required to refer the prescription to another pharmacist or manager on duty to meet the patient's needs in a timely manner." So while the pharmacist didn't break any Walgreens policies, the emotional trauma inflicted on Arteaga was significant. And many online agreed and expressed their outrage. @JaneMinty tweeted, "Exactly which other meds are covered by your policy? Blood thinners, antidepressants, topical acne creams? And please provide evidence that men have also been refused, since such violations of bodily autonomy only seem to affect women." Miss Maria Pants says, "This is a terrible policy that allows for discrimination in medical matters. I feel like I'm living in The Handmaid's Tale." Equality Mom wrote, "Under no circumstances should a pharmacist be able to refuse to do their jobs. Religious beliefs have no place in the public service industry, and if you don't fire pharmacists for refusing to fill a prescription, then we will take our business elsewhere." Here's the problem with that though. In Arizona, where this actually happened, what the pharmacist did was actually legal.
In Arizona, which is one of 6 states, in Arizona, the pharmacist is 100% within his legal rights to refuse to fulfill the prescription and give the medication. And in Arizona, he doesn't even have to refer it to another pharmacy.
5 other states are like Arizona in allowing pharmacists to refuse to fill prescriptions due to religious beliefs and aren't required to refer the patient to a pharmacy that will. In 7 states, including Texas and New York, pharmacists don't have to fill a prescription, but they must refer you to someone who will. These states say you have a right to step away, but not to step between or obstruct a patient from acquiring their medicine. Then there are 8 states, including California and Illinois, where pharmacists must provide prescribed medication regardless of one's ethical or religious beliefs. The idea there is basically, it's your job, get over it. Personally, before we decided to cover the story and we did our research, I didn't even know that this was happening here in the States, that you could actually say no to someone who needed a certain medication. It would be like someone who works at an ice cream store or a candy store and someone who perhaps is overweight or obese comes in and that person refuses to serve that person because they're making a judgment call like, you don't deserve this, I'm not gonna serve you, it's not ethically right. And then there's every other state that has no law at all pertaining to this and a private company can do what they wanna do. By the way, this debate has been going on in the US for a long time. In 2012, an Oklahoma doctor refused to provide emergency contraception to a rape victim. And in Georgia in 2015, a woman was prescribed Misoprostol because of an impending miscarriage, and the Walmart pharmacist wouldn't fill it. Now, there's no federal law on the books on this issue. That's because in 2016, the Supreme Court declined to hear a case from a Washington state pharmacy that claimed it violated its religious freedom to be required to carry emergency contraception. But there is evidence that the current Supreme Court would be more amenable to hearing this case. Just on Tuesday, they ruled 5-4 in favor of the right of anti-abortion crisis pregnancy centers to not disclose that they are not medical professionals, and ruled that states can't force such locations to provide information about legal abortions. The ruling was condemned by women's health groups, including the National Women's Law Center, which called it devastating and said it will make access to full reproductive health care more difficult. Surprise, surprise, the ones that voted against this, 5 men. As far as Arteaga's story goes, she's filed a complaint with the Arizona Board of Pharmacy, and she hopes the law can be changed to better provide for people in her situation.
You know, I have my own beliefs. I'm not trying to force anybody to believe what I believe. And yes, he could have just easily passed me on, called the store manager. Unfortunately, in the moment, I wasn't thinking. I didn't have a clear mind to ask, to say, and I felt completely shut down.
So what do you guys think? Should there be a federal law one way or another on this issue? Let us know in the comments below. And be sure to like and subscribe for more of What's Trending.